Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing our first spring harvest. I'm so excited. Well, it's the end of the winter veggies that we need to pull out and there's quite a few of them. We're also going to plant out the tomato bed at the back of the yard. So let's go see what we can find. I'm going to test if one of these is ready to be harvested because it's got a few dead leaves on the bottom now. So this is elephant garlic and you need to harvest this when it's about 50% dead. So I might dig this one up because it's looking a bit more dead than the rest. Oh, there we go. Okay. I dug one up the other day and it looked exactly like this. It's just so weird because it's like, it hasn't bulbed out yet, but it's like half dying. So I'm not sure what's going on with this garlic. Like I said, it's elephant garlic. I guess I could eat it fresh, but it just hasn't bulbed out. So I might have to leave those a bit longer, I think. I'm gonna harvest all this celery in this back garden bed because I need to plant my tomatoes in here. They need to go in today because they're getting too big for the seedling pot. These celery aren't really ready. They're probably only about halfway grown, but I need this space, so it's time for these babies to come out. This variety is called golden celery. I tried this as I wasn't getting very good results with tall Utah. I would have liked to have grown this a bit longer to see how well they would do. They had a lot of spotting on the leaves, I suspect, to a lack of watering. The soil in this bed was quite compacted from all the rain that we got over summer at the end of last year. So maybe with better drainage and more watering, these would have looked a lot better. I've just started a new variety of celery seeds called Sierra, which is a hybrid. So I'm keen to see if I get decent results from that one. Celery is the one thing that I can't seem to grow very well. Bunches we got. I mean, we got some pretty small ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That's 20 bunches of celery. Some of them are pretty small, but I need to clean them up. All right, so there's a decent amount of celery there. That basket's full, and that's a pretty big basket. So I'll definitely get a few juices out of all that celery. There are quite a few small ones there. They haven't really grown to full size yet. They'd only been planted probably a month ago. And that bed was quite dry, so they didn't really bulk up too much. But like I said, I need to get them out to get the tomatoes in there. So they've served their purpose and I'll enjoy juicing those ones. I'm gonna harvest a bunch of this rosemary too because it's quite tall in here and I don't want it shading the tomatoes that are gonna be planted on this side. So I'm gonna cut a whole bunch of it back and freeze it and give it to family tomorrow because we're having a family dinner. That'll be nice to take over there. Cut it right back. Hopefully it won't do too much damage. This rosemary is about 2 or 3 years old now. It's massive. Decent haircut. So they're starting to look pretty good. I've just strung them up on strings so they can climb up, and I've got some other celery in there that's looking a lot better than the other bed. So I think that'll be a better harvest when they're ready, which will be quite soon. And I planted another 2 little baby cucumbers here. So in total in this bed, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in total. This was the 3 stalks of corn that sprouted. If you saw my last video, September in the garden, I had a bit of trouble sprouting corn, and I had 3 that germinated out of about 24. So I've put them in a pot, and then I had to restart the corn seeds, so they're growing really well. These cauliflowers are finally ready to pick. I'm so happy that they haven't gone to seed with the hot weather we have had on and off for the last few weeks. I thought I had planted these too late in mid-July, but they have done really well. I got a 6-cell punnet that was reduced to $1.15 from the nursery, and they looked sad. There ended up being 14 cauliflowers in the punnet, but I could only fit 9 in this bed. Does anyone else feel bad throwing out seedlings? I know I do, but I had nowhere else to put them. So it looks like I will get 9 big beautiful organic cauliflowers for $1.15. Probably not as cheap as growing from seed, which I normally do, but I didn't have time to sprout more seeds, and these little babies were saying, "Take me home before we die!" Onions aren't far away from being ready. That one there is massive. And some of these are starting to bend over a little bit, so they can't be far from ready. There's another massive one there. The neck on that is huge. This one is starting to flop over now. So that one can probably be pulled soon. Cabbage is looking really good. Can't wait for that to be ready. Shouldn't be far away. And this kale is looking pretty good too. I need to pick some of that. And all this cos lettuce is ready to pick too. This Nero di Toscano kale is a pick and come again style vegetable and so easy to grow in this climate. You can pick the bottom leaves and it just keeps growing up from the middle, a bit like lettuce, which means it lasts for ages. You only need 1 or 2 plants in your garden and it will last you for months. As long as you can keep the white butterfly moths off it, it will thrive. That's why I have it here under these covers. I love coriander flowers amongst the lettuce. They look so pretty. And the bees love them too. Okay, so it's time to pot up the tomatoes because they're getting quite big now and they're starting to get a little bit yellow. And I want to get these eggplants in as well because they're quite big, and the chilies, so let's get them into the garden now. Okay, so these are the San Marzano tomatoes here. So I've got 4 of those there, and I've just got 2 classic Romas. So I'm going to plant them all along this back part of the veggie garden here so that they can climb up these strings, or I can tie them to the strings to keep them growing straight up, because these are indeterminate tomatoes. And this bed is 2.4 meters long, and I'll plant them 60 centimeters apart, so 4 of them should fit nicely on this back part of the garden bed. I'm going to dig down quite deep, and I'll bury them up to about their first set of leaves. So they're because tomatoes grow roots from when they're under the ground, so the further down you bury them, the more roots they'll grow and the stronger they are. I'm going to dig quite a deep hole. Alright, so I calculated wrong. I've got 5 holes, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll have to plant one of the other tomatoes at the front here. So I'll make sure this is nice and moist. Managed to fit 5 along here, so I had to put the other one in front of the last one there. We have 4 San Marzanos at the back and then 2 classic Romas on this end, and then I'm going to fill the front of this bed here with the eggplant and the chilies. Actually just remembered that I have a capsicum here, or a bell pepper as it's known in America, that I started. So instead of doing 2 chilies, I'm going to do 1 chili and 1 capsicum here, because I'm not a huge fan of chilies. So I'll give the other chili seedling to Kevin's aunt, who is growing food. She loves chilies because she's Malaysian as well, so she'll enjoy that, and I'll give the other eggplant to her as well. So that has worked out well. My summer garden bed, and I've got a bunch of basil here as well that I'm going to pop in front of these tomatoes here as a companion plant. So that's looking good. We've got our eggplant in the front there, some basil, all the tomatoes along the back, another tomato there, a capsicum or bell pepper, and a chili there. So I'm going to water this all in and then cover it with sugarcane mulch, and that bed is done. Run the sprinkler system to make sure there's no dirt clogging them. So these are set to turn on every second day for 10 minutes to water the garden, which I probably need to increase now that it's warming up. All I have to do now, I might just put some spikes in to support the tomatoes and capsicum, and then I'm just going to pop the netting down tonight because the possums will get in there and eat them otherwise, and then I can just open the front flap up during the day for the bees to get in and pollinate, but they're way off from flowering yet anyway. I've got this Velcro tape that I'm going to use to stake up the tomatoes, just to tie them to the stakes I just put in until they get a bit bigger, then I'll string them up. This stuff is great because you just cut a bit off and then just wrap it around the base and it sticks to itself, and they're reusable, so good for the environment. You can see they just tie around there, and I can move them when the plants grow bigger. Okay, so it's time to pick the mulberries now. There's about a quarter of the trees ready to be picked, and I want to get these off before the storm comes this afternoon and knocks them to the ground. They're looking pretty juicy, so I'm keen to get some. Yeah. If they come off like pretty freely, then they're definitely ready.
1 second rule. One's half red, half black. Leave it.
Yeah. Stop dropping them. Yeah, cool. What about a bowl full? Oh, I dropped them. So we got a little bowl full. That's not bad for their first round, and I will definitely enjoy eating these later this afternoon. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for coming along on the journey with me to pick all my veggies and planting my tomatoes, eggplants and chilies in the garden bed. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I think you'd really enjoy this video all about how to make loads of compost for free in a small garden. Thanks for watching. Bye.